I'm going to hear House Bill 60.
Morning, Madam Chairwoman and members. Thank y'all so much for the time. Appreciate y'all getting me early so I can get back to criminal justice. In front of y'all going to have a copy of HB 60, which is vital stats and birth certificate. This simply clarifies the duties of the Louisiana Registrar of Vital Records with respect to issuing new birth certificates, specifically to those that are from out of state, the adoptive parents from out of state or foreign countries. And in addition, it would clarify definition, which is somewhat vague right now for adoptive parent or parent singular. And we're going to go ahead. If you notice in the bill, it refers to Louisiana Children's Code 1198 as well as Louisiana's Children's Code 1221. 1198 just basically deals with agency adoptions, whereas 1221 deals with private adoptions, and it just sets out the definition specifically on that adoptive parent and parent singular.
Do I have any questions? We have some cards in support and some cards in opposition.
Okay.
Any questions? Yes. All right. Representative Hines.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Representative Perry, I understand what you're trying to do here, but I do have some concerns. How does this affect the Supreme Court case right now? It's being challenged in Shreveport with two gay couple that have gone to. I'm sorry, I just got back in. I'm running down the stairs.
I thought you were excited to talk to me.
I know. God. Need to go work out a little more. Anyway, so I'm sorry. There's a New York, a gay couple from New York that has adopted a child in Shreveport, and it's currently in litigation on appeal. And I want to know how this will affect that and future cases.
Representative Hines, we do have someone here for information only from the Attorney General's. Would you like to hold that for that? Or
I'll answer the best I can, and if it doesn't satisfy, then we can definitely get the Attorney General's up.
All right.
Basically what happened was there was a suit filed in federal court, and I believe it was in the Eastern District. That then was appealed to the Federal Court of Appeals. The Attorney General's Office of Louisiana filed a motion to stay, and that motion to stay was granted. So as of right now, the case is stayed.
But how, if we pass this legislation, will this affect that? Will this be retroactive? This will, I mean, what you're essentially trying to do in layman's terms is you're trying to prevent, I know current Louisiana law, adoption law, allows for only a single person or a married couple, husband and wife, man and woman, to adopt a child in Louisiana. Other states, of course, have made it so that two same-sex couples can legally adopt children. New York, Iowa, many other states. Are you trying to affect the full faith and credit clause in Louisiana? In other words, are you trying to make sure that other states that have different laws than we have, that would then affect the adoption policy of Louisiana?
Well, those states that you mentioned recognize I guess what you'd refer to as a gay marriage. This is not pinpointed at any particular couple or anything like that. If you are not married, whether you're gay or straight, if you're not married, you can't adopt. So what this is basically doing is clarifying and giving the Register of Vital Statistics authority to give it only on a single adoptive person or a single adoptive parent, and that the couple parent is based on the definitions of current law in the Louisiana Children's Code. That's all. You're
telling me in Louisiana that currently a single person cannot adopt a child?
No, they can.
They can, correct.
A single person,
exactly.
Correct.
Yes. And so, but I'm confused. Can you clarify your point again then? So what are you saying? If there's two single individuals who live in New York or California who want to adopt a Louisiana child, they go through the foster care, or they go through the adoption process, how will this affect that? If we pass your legislation, how will this affect that? Two individuals, two men, two women, a man and a woman who are not married, who've been out of a civil union, say, but they've never actually legally been married, but they legally, they have a civil union.
My appreciation is that if they are not married, man, woman, they cannot adopt because they won't have their names on the birth certificate. Okay, this will not prevent one person, a single person, from having their names placed on the adopted birth certificate. It won't. All this is doing is basically clarifying and backing up the Louisiana public policy that we currently have on the definition of adoptive parent, singular, and parents, according to the Louisiana Children's Code.
Okay, but what I'm concerned about is if, again, two individuals, a man and a woman, again, not married, they've lived together for 20 years, they've adopted a child. One, of course, as you know, current law, only one is on the birth certificate, only one is the legal custodian, only one is a legal parent. I'm concerned, like, for instance, health issues. Say it's a man and a woman in California, and the man is the legal adopted parent of this child. They've lived together for 20 years. The gentleman dies. The woman, who would be in effect the mother or the second parent, even though she's not on the birth certificate, she would then be prevented, for instance, from, say if the child was dying in a hospital, they would have to go through the whole legal process just to get the rights if we were to pass this legislation.
That's very possible.
That doesn't concern you, the fact that...
No, it does not.
Okay. Well, I'll have some more questions later. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative. Representative LaBruzza.
Representative, could someone, in this case that was mentioned in California, the father adopts the child, okay, and then he goes through with the adoption. He moves to California with his child, and then couldn't the other parent adopt in California, as to be an adoptive parent there, and then they'd both be parents?
I don't know.
I believe they could. So this, I don't think we need to change Louisiana laws. I think if someone wants to both be parents, allow one of them to adopt in Louisiana, go to wherever state they live, and if that, then they can file to adopt that child, just as happens all the time when you have a parent or a spouse. One parent dies, you have another spouse left with 3 kids. They remarry to someone else, and that new spouse adopts those children. That, I believe, that option would be open to any parents that want to do that. I believe that would be. And if maybe we can get an opinion from the Attorney General's office as what they think about that.
And let me say this: it's my appreciation. This is strictly a procedural change. It is not substantive. I mean, it is.
I realize that. I just want to see if we can address some of the concerns that were brought up.
I understand.
Which would be that you'd have an effect to parents as far as the child's concerned, where one would be kind of left out on the side. And I want to see what the Attorney General's office had to say. Yeah, come sit down. About my thoughts.
Please state your name for the record.
My name is Kyle Duncan. I'm from the Louisiana Department of Justice,